All right, peace and black power family. Welcome to another episode of Do Knowledge Radio, place for knowledge is born. This is your host, Knowledge Born Alive. We're here in this 100-year Whirlwind series, and we got love. We got black love. We got black family here today, right now. You understand what I'm saying? And we got this the epitome from the Twin Islands, Trinidad and Tobago in the house. You understand what I'm saying? So we got much love and respect here, and just want to take a moment to, welcome to, Do the Knowledge Radio, uh, this dynamic duo right here, Saket Nev, Aminwa, and uh, Sister Salima
Salima, Salima
Nissaba
Nissaba
Sarabie, yeah, right. So we got some uh, comedic going on, and we got some Arabic slash Swahili going on. I
Yeah,
like that. I like it. I like it. Okay, okay. All right. All right. So let's respect. How y'all feeling today?
beautiful.
Excellent, man. Excellent.
Yeah, we're excited for the exchange and what's about to
Right.
happen.
A lot of change going on
Okay.
around the world, so we have to be part of it.
Right.
Yeah.
So on that side, on the island, how's things been in regards to all of this stuff that they got, planned out here?
In regards to COVID, this current situation,
Yeah. Mm,
well, first of all, it's been pouring here, rain. Um, the city it's a bit chilly here. We just discovered that we got a few more cases,
Yeah, a few more.
COVID cases. It subsided for a while, and then recently it started to spiral again. So everyone is trying to keep distance, take precautions, and just try to prevent this from spreading anymore, any further.
okay.
Yeah.
So for y'all two on y'all journey and y'all path, separate and together, what was the catalyst that kind of got y'all started on this particular path that y'all are on right now?
I would, I would say our culture, our family. From Are you familiar with the Nubian nation of Moors?
Yes.
Right. So that's well, she was brought up in that family, and I was a part of that group for many years. So I have grandfather, and he's actually one of my mentors. So that
Mm,
brought a nice fusion together. Plus, I'm on my own journey before traveling, experiencing the culture, Ifa, and many other indigenous parts, Palomayumbe, and of course now Obia. That's where I became grounded in Suriname among the
mm,
Maroons.
okay.
Yeah, so
That's
it's
that's
part
a
from birth,
journey right there.
from
Mm,
and along the journey of growing up, just some discoveries that were made through either reading books, people that we've met along the way. Yeah,
all right.
and it's all alignment as well. As he said, my grandfather was his mentor, and it's only after 3 years ago we discovered that there was already a
Yeah,
connection there. Because I was how old, around,
2019.
yeah, but like when my grandfather mentored you.
Oh, well, her grandfather's name is Abu,
Yeah.
and he is with the Ifa community here in Trinidad. Very vibrant. It's very, very vibrant, the Ifa community. And he was one of the elders that actually guided me. There's an elder here. Her name is Ella Andel. Ella Andel.
Yeah.
Sorry, Ella Andel. And she has a lot of music out, a lot of CDs out on Ifa music and so on. So because the island is small, it's practically everyone knows everyone.
Everyone is aligned. Yeah. You can't get away from that.
So you go to one feast, you go to one feast, you're gonna meet somebody from the next one. So
Yeah.
most times there's somebody gonna give you a phone call and say, hey, there's gonna be an event happening at this pali or this shrine. Can you come out? Are you free? So that's the community is very, very close knit. like all families, we have our challenges, but we get over them. So that's how I met Abu, and from there we began to talk, and I met other elders, and then I met Salima. Also, I teach
Yes.
capoeira, so capoeira is also a means of also
Yeah.
the martial arts.
Of being exposed to that African consciousness setting. Yeah.
So most people have a traditional journey and path in Judeo-Christian type of path, and neither one of y'all expressed that in a place like Trinidad. You see what I'm saying? So most of the interactions we meet with people from Trinidad, over here where I am, they're good Christians or good Catholic. You know what I'm saying? So like this is a eye-opening experience, to meet both of you that grew up in other tradition, particularly with African roots. So that's just amazing. Uh, so culturally, there's another lens that's there too. I see. Like I love it what I'm seeing. So the traditional, African martial arts and the sciences that are there as well. You see what I'm saying? So I think that's a very amazing thing for you. So now I gotta ask, how did y'all two meet?
Through capoeira.
Through
Yeah.
capoeira.
My two younger siblings joined his capoeira group,
Mm.
capoeira camera, of which he's the instructor of. And of course, frequent visits, checking up on my siblings. Eventually, we began speaking, talking, and discovering a lot about each other. We appreciated what we saw, what we heard, and from there, it's connection just happened.
Actually, to add to some
Yeah, I was
further,
waiting for the actually. Okay.
I'm
I love it. I do.
I was said you too.
actually, what happened is that anyone comes to my group, I pay attention to them. So when Slima came to the group, she'll always be reading some book, and it's a bit disenchanting. A lot of our people don't pick up books, and the particular book of interest. So I would watch the book she's reading, and though we're in university, there's a lot of distractions into this book. So that intrigued me. I wanted to know what book she had her attention, what held her attention. And I didn't even remember that was the Abu's granddaughter. That was furthest from my mind. And then when I came close and I saw the book she was reading, I can't recall what it is right now. I said, okay, this sister has a head on her shoulders, man. I mean, because it's unfortunate that a lot of us are waking up, and some of us are still sleeping. So that was the spark. You want some more?
His name
Yes.
actually is
Yes.
what
Yeah.
made me
Yes.
more intrigued. That's a
You want some more?
Oh man. Yes. Because both of y'all being nice right now. You understand? So both of y'all being nice,
Okay.
actually it's not a complicated. It wasn't a complicated um meeting because again when upon discovering our interests, we found out that they were quite more similar than different. So it was easy to build a connection upon from there. We are both passionate about ourselves as Africans, African man, African woman, building African families, helping our African communities. So once that was set, it was not for us to, it wasn't difficult for us to. That's as detailed, really. Sorry, we couldn't add more spice to it, but that's as detailed as it could get.
It's like the yin and the yang, Salima brings elements of water, I bring element of fire. the Osho, the Chromanti, the Rotawino. So it's a nice fusion. When my students come over, we have our gatherings, they will be observing us. Because when you teach, people are also watching to see where you're going to make mistakes.
Yeah, and if you're living by your word.
And if you're following the culture exactly. So my chief asked me a lot when I was about my companion, what is she into? Does she believe in the culture? So the Maroons are very, very strict people. Very strict when it comes to carrying on the culture in its pure form. And they don't advocate, they respect it if someone has a interracial relation. However, they're very strong about, black families.
Yeah. Keeping that linkage, yeah.
It's very important.
Keeping it pure as much as possible.
So that's the spice I was looking for. I was looking for that right there, Not the other stuff. I was looking for that kind of spice, that African spice. Because we're dealing with, people who come from broken families or no families at all. So to know that there exist, people and places that love African culture, that are building African families, we need all of these examples, so the details were there. There were some key details. If I could take a moment, the initial connection was based off of something that wasn't superficial, something that could fade. Wisdom is eternal. You see what I'm saying? So his interest in you and your interest in him was rooted in a cultural foundation and a respect for each other beyond the physical. You see what I'm saying? So well, for him to take an interest in what you were reading and how you were feeding yourself, that's a thing, because these are roots in telling on how you will feed your family. You see what I'm saying? So just from that alone, so if you was reading, some trash, then you're putting trash in your body. You're gonna give, trash to, the children, and you won't see anything wrong with it. You see? So just even from a book, there's an indicator in that regard, and him coming up in traditions where elders and leading back to family. Again, these are things that are missing in our society amongst our people, and this is why we are in a bit of a disarray because of those things. There's no eldership to go to in many cases where many people are, and they aren't respected. Those relationships aren't cultivated. You're not brought up in initiatory rite ceremonies for you to be able to be in a space where elders are. All of these things come together in the small details when you listen. From a place that is true. You know what I'm saying? So I got the spice that I was looking for based off of, the details that y'all gave. You see what I'm saying? And the light that you both carry with each other. And, necessarily like another foundational root that y'all mentioned is that y'all are complements of one another and not alike. Somebody wants somebody, they say, okay, we go into situations and say, oh, we're looking for somebody like-minded or whatever. Someone who's going to bring the best you out of you. This is an unlike situation. And you bring the best out of them. That's a symbiotic relationship to where y'all deal with each other and your relationship and bond to one another is to bring the best, person out of each other, together. And then y'all cultivate that bond and relationship, and the family comes from that process right there. That's amazing.
Well, you have a saying that goes, be the example you desire to see in others. Be the example you desire to see. And when you put yourself in a position of leadership, there are those who are going to look at you to make mistakes. And we are human beings, make mistakes. That's what we learn. However, when it is we move ourselves from those particular platforms, we have to realize sisters watching. There are those in the invisible who are watching to see how we if you're going to be able to handle the bitter and the sweet, how are we gonna get through trials with each other? Because when a man and a woman come together, it's two families coming together. They could be African, they could be Oriental, it doesn't matter. So her family gonna have their own way of doing things, and mine's different modus operandi. But now when we come together and you begin to pour cold water, you begin to pour libation to the ancestors, those in the invisible will connect, which makes us in the physical world live more harmonious.
Yeah.
So it's very important as African families to pray. If we don't pray, we don't acknowledge those in the invisible world, we're gonna have problems. Once we stop that communication with the ancestors, with the gods, problems manifest. I found that it's one of our issues as African people is that when we begin to receive the blessings from our ancestors, from the gods, we tend to forget them. And we need to remember that on their shoulders we stand. Remove themselves from us, then we will always have problems in our lives.
Okay, so we have these events coming up that are on the horizon. So next weekend, and I think a couple of weeks later, uh, you're involved in some events. How did that process go about for you to be involved in these events? And what are some of the things that we could look forward to?
Well,
1 minute. That's stronger connection.
are we breaking up on your end, brother?
Can y'all hear me or no?
Yeah.
Okay.
The
I
audio
was
is a bit
speaking about.
disjointed, so you're trying to make sure we can hear you properly so we can respond.
Okay. I'm gonna leave and come back.
Let's start over.
How about now? Can y'all hear me better now? Can y'all hear me better now or no? Can y'all hear me now? Or?
Still
If
breaking up.
y'all, if y'all can hear me, leave and come back and let's see if that'll fix it.
Maybe we both should restart because we're not even hearing any words. It just sounds disconnected, disjointed. Okay, says restart.
So that's what's going on in Trinidad, Tobago, the Twin Islands over there. So y'all just take this opportunity to make sure y'all go and get y'all tickets. Y'all see what's cooking up. You know, we got the Caribbean in the building, we got the UK in the building, you know, we got the continent in the building, and we got, you know, so many other places. You know, conversion on one location, one uh, conference. You know, 3 days, 14th through the 16th. Make sure y'all go to www.dtc1.org and get your tickets. Get your tickets, get your tickets, get your tickets.
Okay. Is this better?
Yes, can y'all hear me?
Yes, you would need to hear more for us to know really if it's still breaking. But I know what that's now.
Okay. I was talking about these upcoming events. Y'all are part of two events that are coming up here. One, 100 Years in the Whirlwind, and the other, the brother out of UK, Baba Olakun, in September. I believe September the 5th or so. So I just wanted, you know, y'all to talk about those events and, you know, what are y'all going to bring to these particular events? You know, what are you going to be talking about next weekend and also, you know, coming up in September, a couple of weeks later?
Well, the event in September, the granddaughter Ude Kunle is hosting. Um, we are not speakers on the for that event. We're not on the panel. I was just the video that I created. I was just encouraging persons
Mm,
to come out and be a part of the healing journey of our African men, women, and men for them to support.
okay. So what about this one, 100 Years in the Whirlwind, this series coming up next weekend, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday?
Pardon? Repeat that, please.
So this week, you know, this next weekend coming up, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, 100 Years in the Whirlwind, you know, the celebration. What will you? What's your topic of discussion for this particular?
Audio dropped.
I think what you're asking, if you're here now, is let me know. Let us know. You're asking if it is how we feel about the upcoming event. It's Friday, Saturday, the world. Am I correct?
Yes, and also, what are you going to discuss?
Oh, okay. Well, Salima will be opening first. Initially, she will open and she will share her piece on her experiences as she's been working thus far. And what I'm going to do is complement that by bringing more of the spiritual sides to it. Because the here, like Obia, for example, it's a very taboo word in the Caribbean, at least in Trinidad, Jamaica, because of many times the elders pass on the knowledge to the younger generation and they misuse knowledge. So it's really important for all in attendance to sorry about that, all in attendance to benefit from both.
EXO and ESO.
Yeah.
So both will be based on spirituality. However, I would be sharing more of what spirituality has done, what foundation it has created for me as a young lady growing up now into womanhood. The benefits that I've received from having early exposure to African indigenous rituals and practices, which of course are many, right? And second would be going more in depth with the details, the uncomfortable aspect of it that most people try to run away from, try to ignore. So we found that it was a purpose to have the both, not just the physical part of it, but also the spiritual beyond the surface conversations.
So it will be the foundation, and that'll be
Ah, there we have it. Ashay.
So
if
definitely,
we can go a little deeper, because I know there are others listening on and watching the podcast. The of African spirituality is very diverse. Where we practice Ifa or Afra, the way we practice in Paramayombe, in Zimbabwe under the Supreme One, Marwi Msikanabu, the way we practice in Kemet and other parts of the motherland, has created a lot of division amongst us, tribal division. And I'm fortunate to be under that has seen this, understands this. So when we talk, he always makes sure and try to inform me that I need to the measure I must relate to my people, to our people, is that we are one. Wherever we are on the planet, we are African. And our spirituality may seem different because what we call Ogun in Ifa, we call Kromanti. The spirit may have different manifestations, but they all know each other. They all family, same source. So how can we, in the mundane, try to separate ourselves from that?
And that's where the chaos is brewed, right? That's where it's brought to the surface. That mindset of divisiveness.
definitely. Can y'all hear me okay or no? Can y'all hear me?
This connection is poor.
Oh, and if it's on both sides or just here.
Can y'all hear me now?
Were you able to get everything we just mentioned?
Yes. I heard everything. I don't know what's going on with the connection now, but I heard everything.
Oh, yeah. So we're hoping this Saturday, because that's the second, and I would be presenting our theme, our topic, discussing it, standing on the shoulders of our ancestors, the exoteric and esoteric not. We're hoping for it to be an impactful session, and during the question and answer session, we get to receive the interpretations from the audience of what they took away from it. So I'm excited. We are really excited to get that. I know some persons may not be comfortable or familiar with the topics that will be discussed, but all part of life, right? Stepping out of our comfort zones, being open-minded to it, and along this journey of rediscovering ourselves as Africans, it's not an easy one. It's not a comfortable one. So, ins and outs, we have to accept. And so far, we're doing a good job. I think it's the connection here. Yeah, it should be. I think he sent a chat. Any remarks on social media and people know to see it?
Well, I'm seeing remarks. So I don't want anyone to be uncomfortable. I want all people to be very comfortable. So I would like them to open their mind, because though we are making baby steps back to our genesis, we have a lot of little how may I say, hindrances along the way because of and when we begin to immerse ourselves back into our culture, most of us only hold on to the cultural aspects of how we attire ourselves, how we rename our children, festivals like Kwanzaa, but it's much deeper than that. Unfortunately, for some of us, we are waking up, and there's some brothers and sisters out there who use this as an advantage to exploit us. They take money from us, they charge us exorbitant amount of fees for initiations, and you cannot charge someone for something that comes from
that belongs to them.
That belongs to them, from Anana, Masagangadu, who we call God Supreme. These things must be given to you because the gods chose you for this. In the Bushilinge, or the Afrikan version of green tea. It is very secretive, but it doesn't mean we cannot talk and teach our brothers and sisters about our culture. So when we're going to sit down and we're going to talk, the most effective way to learn is by asking questions. Because I can share, Salima can share, all of the brothers and sisters who are on the panel can share. But if those who are listening to engage us, then they will not receive, the door will open. The door is open right now, but more doors can be opened based on the questions. And not being afraid to ask questions. Ask anything you want to ask. And by those questions being asked, others will say, hey, I told about this before. Let me ask this now. So hour and a half will be enough. It's what we have to work with, and we do our best with it.
I see. So again, we look forward to interacting with you all on Saturday. I am Salima Nissaba. That's where you can find me through that name. By that name, you can find me on Facebook.
I am Second Neb Munwa L. I'm the leader of the Honorable Society, also a Vista, African Brazilian. Here to serve.
And thank you, Brother Knowledge, for opening this space, creating this space. You and the others who have created, who have done this initiative, who has made initiative. Thank you for opening this space for us to build, for us to heal, whatever purpose we have, whatever positive purpose we have to use these platforms. Thank you for creating this space.